Hello and welcome to Mitv Primetime News, coming to you live from our broadcast studio here in Lagos. I am Teresa Adeyemi. We begin the news tonight with the top stories. Speaker advocating increase in minimum educational qualifications for presidency. APC National Convention we hold in February. PDP governorship aspirant in Ekiti reject ad hoc committee. From the foreign scene, suspected drone attack in Abu Dhabi causes fire, kills 3. Sport. Cameroon, Cape Verde through to round of 16. Now the news in details. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, has said the possession of a minimum of secondary school certificate or its equivalent by persons seeking election into public offices is no longer in tandem with the realities of today's world. Gbajabiamila therefore called for the amendment of Section 131 subsection D of the 1999 Constitution to raise the minimum requirement for persons seeking elective public offices. The Speaker, who stated this on Monday while delivering the 52nd convocation lecture of the University of Lagos, UNILAG, said the provision contained in the Constitution was a product of a different time and not a reflection of the demands of today. Speaking on the lecture titled Building Back Better, Creating a New Framework for Tertiary Education in Nigeria in the 21st Century, Gbajabiamila said the National Assembly needs to look into the relevant sections of the 1999 Constitution with a view to increasing the minimum education and qualification for persons aspiring to be future president of Nigeria and other top officers, including the National Assembly, as against the current minimum requirement of a secondary school certificate or its equivalent. According to him, as we have reduced the age for eligibility to contest those offices, so also we should increase the minimum educational requirement. It will be another step in reforming our electoral system and providing strong leadership for the country. Let us lift our gaze from consideration of small things to focus on the pursuit and achievement of grand ambition that lift us all and save the future. The Progressive Governors Forum, PGF, an umbrella body of governors elected on the platform of the All Progressive Congress APC, has given assurance that the party's national convention will hold in February. Kebbi Governor Atiku Bagudu and chairman of the PGF gave the assurance while speaking with journalists at the end of a closed-door meeting on Sunday night in Abuja. Bagudu, who did not give a specific date for the event, said the February date as approved by President Muhammad Buhari was sacrosanct and still feasible for the conduct of the event. He added that the APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, CECPC, as an organ of the party, was in the best position to announce the specific date for the convention. He said they are one group of stakeholders in the party and the party respect institutions. The appropriate organ of the party that we announce a date for the National Convention is the CECPC. Bagudu said the meeting passed a vote of confidence on the Buni-led CECPC and 2 other governors, Governor Mohammed Bello of Niger and Governor Gboyega Oyetola of Osun. He noted that the governors had done an incredible job for running the party successfully and had mobilized people into the party fold, saying that the PGF was very happy with their conduct. He explained that the forum's decision was unanimous, adding that it was united behind the president and the party's caretaker committee. Report says there has been immense pressure on the APC Buni-led CECPC to fix a specific date for the party's national convention following Buhari's approval that the event be held in February. Meanwhile, Director General of the Progressive Governors Forum, PGF, Saliu Mo Lukman, has resigned from office in the wake of the crisis which has trailed the February National Convention of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC. Report says that his resignation followed Sunday night meeting of the APC Governors Forum, where a few of the governors had demanded that he be booted out for being too vocal. Many of the governors were said to have kicked against the demand, saying the erstwhile PGF votes should be allowed to continue to speak in his personal capacity as a chieftain of the party. Though Lukman did not immediately respond to media inquiries seeking his response, APC said the PGF boss has done the right thing by acting according to his conscience. In a related development, some aggrieved governorship aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State and their supporters have called on the national executive of the party to cancel the 3 ad hoc delegate election in the state. The aspirant and their supporters took to the street of Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, to press home their demand. Speaking with journalists, one of the aspirant senator, Biodun Olujimi, said there was no election in all the 177 wards across the 16 local government areas of the state. Some aggrieved members of the party also submitted that election materials were diverted to a certain aspirant. Reacting to the allegation, media aide to the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayoshi, Lere Olayinka, said it was not true that election materials were diverted to a certain aspirant.
There is a need to listen to the people of Ekiti. There is a need to look at other ways of resolving these issues. There is a need for everyone to sit on a table and reconcile. Without that, the elections here will be very tough for our party.
What I want national body to do is to do away with delegates. They should go and use the automatic delegates. That way will not be controversial. That will be straightforward.
We are saying no to Mahumao of Ekiti. We want the Congress to be council immediately effect. I am very sure that the national will do justice to this issue.
When you conduct a Congress, successfully conducted as has been done on Saturday, the next step is to approach the appeal committee to be set up by the party and ventilate your grievances. It is not by protesting, it is not by calling people names, it is not by lying.
There are still other ways to arrive at our primaries. They can decide that we are not even using the 3 ad hoc. They can decide that we are not using the ESCOs. You understand? So the power as to what happens with our primaries lies with the national leadership.
No fewer than 600 women groups drawn from different parts of the country have expressed their determination to converge in Abuja, the nation's capital, on Tuesday next week for a solidarity walk for Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State. The solidarity walk is tagged 1 Million Women March for Yahaya Bello, operating under the auspices of Women United for Yahaya Bello. WUYABEL, the women groups including non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, religious, professional bodies, women in media, politics, market women, as well as top women entrepreneurs, among others, will storm Abuja to drum support for the governor, especially as the nation prepares for the 2023 presidential election. In a statement issued by the global coordinator of WUYABEL, Dr. Anatu Adeko, and made available to newsmen in Abuja, the gathering will be the first of its kind, especially now that the political stage is almost set. According to the organizers, the women groups haven't come to the obvious conclusion that the nation requires one with pedigree, youthfulness and capacity to succeed President Muhammad Buhari have taken it upon themselves to collectively canvass support for Governor Bello, who they said had demonstrated the ability to resolve the myriad of challenges confronting Nigeria. The group said Governor Bello has redefined governance in Kogi State with sterling and verifiable performance, especially in the areas of women and youth empowerment, poverty elevation programs, massive infrastructure development, and healthcare delivery, among others. Dr. Adeko, a physician, said Governor Bello has empowered and supported women to grow, stating that no state in Nigeria has given more positions to women than Kogi. The organizers expressed optimism that Bello's presidency would usher in a breath of fresh air while asking Nigerians from all walks of life to support the project, as it would be a clear departure from the old order. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on Sunday reiterated its earlier position that there will be no sit-at-home this Monday, on Wednesday 19th and Thursday 20th January 2022. IPOB, however, stated that the only day there will be sit-at-home is on Tuesday, 18th of January 2022, the day its leader Nnamdi Kanu will appear in court in Abuja. A statement by IPOB's Media and Publicity Secretary Emma Powerful yesterday entitled "No Sit-at-Home in Biafra Land" on Wednesday January 19th and Thursday 20th, 2022, said that anybody issuing an order for sit-at-home on 19th and 20th of January is not a member of IPOB. The statement also said that such a person or such persons are working against the interests of his leader, Mazi Kanu, and the entire struggle for independence and should therefore be disregarded. IPOB said that it cannot compound the suffering of Indigbo and friends of Indigbo by locking down Southeast for 3 days, saying that anybody enforcing sit-at-home on Monday 17th, Wednesday 19th, and Thursday 20th January is a criminal and should be treated as such. It will be recalled that IPOB last week told the Southeast governors and security agencies to wake up from the slumber and treat criminals and hoodlums still enforcing sit-at-home on Mondays or any day it did not approve as criminals that want to rob people. However, contrary to the directive by IPOB that there will be no sit-at-home on Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, residents of Onitsha, the commercial city of Anambra State, were on Sunday making unusual movement out of Onitsha, apparently for fear of being trapped in the town following the rumors that there will be sit-at-home for 3 days. The need for the government at all levels to help in building a strong healthcare institution across the country in order to save millions from untimely death was re-echoed in Lagos. An Islamic group in both Ikeja and Kosofe local government areas converged residents to a one-day health checks where ailments were treated and health advice was rendered. A member of the health team, Abdulaziz Abdul Hakim, explained that on no account should a citizen believe that government can provide adequate health facilities that can cater for the people, and as such, there is the need for everyone to render his or her assistance to the nearest community. He noted that issues on health matters should not be taken with levity but with serious concern. On his part, the convener, Tony Lasisi, urged everyone to have a regular medical checkup and be wary of self-medication. Lassis noted that because of the importance of health to mankind, every individual should visit the hospital rather than indoor and self-treatment.
Complement government effort in discharging accessible and qualitative free health services to the people to lessen their bill associated with seeking health services in the hospitals. You know, we have less privileged who can't afford the medical bills. We do this just to make it easier for them to access health.
And we want to encourage people to always go out, go to the hospital, see their doctors in order for them to get a medical help at the right time, not until when the issue has get out of hand before they will not be seeking the help. And I want to encourage the society that whatever challenges everybody is facing today, you need to seek medical help, especially anything that deals with your health problem. Seek medical help before any alternative help, because that is where you get the first contact, the first help first.
If we as a citizen can bring this kind of initiative into our people, it enhances, the job of the government, complement what they are doing. I will encourage more of the individuals to come down and do this kind of a charitable support for their community at large.
The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, said inflation rate rose to 15.6% in December last year, after recording 8-month consecutive decline in 2021. This represents 0.2 percentage point rise when compared with 15.4% recorded in November 2021. The Bureau disclosed this on Monday in its Consumer Price Index (CPI) report for December 2021, noting that the Food Price Index also rose by 0.16% point to 17.37% from 17.21% in November 2021. The report stated that the CPI, which measures inflation, increased by 15.63%, that is year-on-year in December 2021. This is 0.13 percentage point lower than the rate recorded in December 2022, which was 15.75%. This is showing slowing down in the rate when compared to the corresponding period of 2020. Increases were recorded in all CAICAP divisions that yielded the headline index. The percentage change in the average composite PPI for the 12-month period ending December 2021 increased by 16.95% from 16.98% over the average of the CPI for the previous 12-month period. recorded in November 2021, down by 0.03 percent points. And that's all we have for you tonight from the local scene. We go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you a report from the foreign scene. Please stay tuned. You're watching Mitv Primetime News. Now to foreign stories. At least 3 people have been killed and 6 others wounded when 3 oil tankers exploded in Abu Dhabi in a suspected drone attack, according to Emirati authorities, as Yemen's Houthis rebels announced an Operation Deep in the United Arab Emirates. Abu Dhabi police said on Monday 3 fuel tanker trucks had exploded in the industrial Musafa area near storage facility of oil firm ADNOC, and that a fire had also broken out at a construction site at Abu Dhabi International Airport. Police identified the dead as 2 Indian nationals and 1 Pakistani. It did not identify the wounded, whom it said suffered minor or moderate wounds. The police said in a statement carried by state news agency WEM that preliminary investigation indicate that the detention of small flying object possibly belonging to drones that fell in the 2 areas and may have caused explosion and fire, adding that they had opened an investigation. Meanwhile, the military spokesman of the Houthi, who are battling a military coalition led by Saudi Arabia and including the United Arab Emirates, said the group had launched a military operation deep in the UAE. More details will be announced in the coming hours, the spokesman added. The UAE had largely scaled down its military presence in Yemen in 2019, but continues to hold sway through Yemen forces it armed and trained. Overseas Tongans are waiting anxiously for news of loved ones after a powerful volcanic eruption and tsunami severed communications with the kingdom in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. Concerns among the 85,000-strong Tongan community in New Zealand were heightened on Monday, but news it could be 2 weeks before communications are restored following the eruption of Onga Tonga, Onga Hapai on Saturday, beside leaving people in the dark about the fate of their loved ones. The lack of internet threatens Tongans reliant on money transfers from relatives overseas. A New Zealand-based journalist with Pacific Media Network, Filippo Mutolo, said he thinks the worst part was the blackout and the fact that we know nothing, adding that there is no communication. Sharana Ali, Chief Executive Officer at Save the Children Fiji, told the media from the Fijian capital of Suva that the situation in Tonga was quite dire. She said there was an immediate need for food and water because there is severe ashfall, and as a result of that, water sources have been contaminated in most of the islands that have been affected. North Korea has fired 2 suspected short-range ballistic missiles into the sea in its first weapon test this month. South Korea military said as Pyongyang continues a wave of missile launches that have triggered condemnation at the United Nations. South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said on Monday that the North likely fired 2 ballistic missiles from the Sunan airport in the capital and that they traveled 380 kilometers to a maximum altitude of 42 kilometers. Japan's government also reported the launch had condemned the test as a threat to the region's peace and security. Nobukishi, the Japanese defense minister, said the missiles appear to have landed in the ocean near North Korea's east coast. The United States military Indo-Pacific Command said it assessed that the launch did not pose an immediate threat to the U.S. or its allies. But this missile launches highlight the destabilizing impact of North Korea's illicit weapons program. North Korea has carried out a series of launches since the start of the year, announcing last week the successful test of a hypersonic weapon observed by leader Kim Jong-un. Mainland China's birth rate dropped to a record low of 7.52% per 1,000 people in 2021. National Bureau of Statistics data showed on Monday, accelerating a downward trend that led Beijing last year to begin allowing couples to have up to 3 children. China scrapped its decades-old one-child policy in 2016, replacing it with a 2-child limit to try and counter a rapidly aging population, but many couples do not want to have more children because of the high cost of urban living. The birth rate was the lowest since 1949 when the Statistics Bureau began collating the data. The natural growth rate of China's population, which excludes migration, was only 0.034% for 2021, the lowest since 1960. The chief economist at Pinpoint Asset Management, Ziwei Zhang, said the demographic challenge was well known, but the speed of population aging is clearly faster than expected. Zhang said this suggests China's total population may have reached its peak in 2021. It also indicates China's potential growth is likely slowing faster than expected. There were 10.62 million births in 2021, the data showed, compared with 12 million in 2020. The birth rate in 2020 was 8.52 births per 1,000 people. And up next, the sport-related stories. Please stay with us. You're still watching Mitv Primetime News. Now talking sport. African Cup of Nations hosts Cameroon are true to the knockout phase as Group A winners despite being out to a 1-1 draw by Cape Verde, who may well join them in the next round. Cameroon had already been assured of a place in the knockout after winning their first 2 games, but they were unable to finish Group A with a spotless record. It looks like they might win. Vincent Abubakar scored yet again to take his tournament tally to 5 in 3 games, the striker finding the bottom right corner from the edge of the box in the 39th minute. But the Blue Sharks leveled with what proved to be their only shot of the second half just after the break, and it was his turner. Gary Rodriguez met Kenny Rocha Santos scored back with a cheeky back-heeled finish past Andre Onana. That goal keeps Cape Verde up of progression alive. They finished the group behind Cameroon and Burkina Faso, but stand a good chance of taking one of the knockout places awarded to the 4 best third-place teams. Burkina Faso clinched a place in the last 16 of the African Cup of Nations despite being held to a 1-1 draw by Ethiopia in their Group A finale. Finalists in 2013, Burkina Faso do not look like threatening to go that far on this evidence, with Ethiopia's unfortunate not to claim all 3 points. Ethiopia striker Getana Kabede saw a bending effort kept out of the top left corner by Sofiane Aldroa Ogo in the 10th minute. They had 4 shots on target in the first half, but it was Burkina Faso who are the only one to find the net. Cyril Bayala lofting over Tekle Meriam Shanko after latching on to Adam Asgura's superb-chipped pass in the 24th minute. Kabede was then denied again by Aldra Oga from close range, but he eventually got his reward for an impressive performance from the penalty spot. Steve Yago was adjudged by the VAR to have handled a free kick in the area, and Kabede coolly struck into the bottom left corner from 12 yards 7 minutes into the second half. But the draw proved enough to send Burkina Faso through as Cape Verde, whom they beat in their previous encounter, also drew 1-1 with group winners Cameroon. Ethiopia got on with just a point to their name from only the second AFCON appearance since 1982. Gabon captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been allowed to return to Arsenal in light of the ongoing health problems he continues to encounter at the African Cup of Nations. The Ghana's keeper is yet to feature in the Biennial African Football Showpiece after testing positive for COVID-19 on January 6, and while he was due to return against Ghana earlier this week, his comeback was blocked on medical grounds. Panthers coach Patrice Neville confirmed that the striker will be allowed to return to Arsenal in order for his ongoing health problems and the nature of the COVID-19 residue in his system to be properly assessed. Neville said the decision was taken to send Aubameyang and teammate Mario Lemina home to their club. The Gabon Football Federation subsequently confirmed in a statement that the players are being released from international duties. Novak Djokovic could miss out on defending another of his Grand Slam titles, with French person new vaccination law that may threaten his ability to compete at Roland Garros later this year. The 34-year-old will not defend his Australian Open title, with a drawn-out saga concerning his vaccination status culminating in his visa being cancelled for a second time after an intervention from Australian Immigration Minister Alex Hogg. But the controversy surrounding the 20-time Grand Slam winner could be set to continue, with French Parliament passing stringent vaccination laws ahead of May's French Open. After French lawmakers comfortably passed the new measures, proof of vaccination status will soon be required to enter a wide variety of public places, including sports stadiums, and the country's sport ministry says there will be no exemptions for professional athletes. Djokovic, who is tied with Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer for all-time slam wins in the men's game, has come in for widespread criticism regarding his failure to be vaccinated against COVID-19, as well as for appearing in public in the days after testing positive for the virus last month. Meanwhile, Djokovic has arrived back in his native Serbia, traveling via Dubai from Melbourne to Belgrade after losing a last court appeal to remain in the country. And just before we end the primetime news tonight, a quick recap of our top stories. Speaker advocate increase in minimum educational qualifications for presidency. APC National Convention holds in February. PDP governorship aspirant in Ekiti reject ad hoc committee. From the foreign scene, suspected drone attack in Abu Dhabi causes fire, kills 3. Talk and sport, Cameroon Cape Verde through to round of 16. And with that is a wrap on the primetime news tonight. From the entire news crew, I am Teresa Adeyemi. Do have a great night. Good night.
This is your radio. This is your radio.
Star FM 101.5 gives you the best of music, news, talk, entertainment, and sports like never before. We give you incisive news every hour, quality music, and sports all day round. Listen to the most entertaining, creative morning show on radio as Star FM gives you top newspaper review, headlines about politics, business, crime, events, and entertainment stories between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. Our midday show gives you classic, up-tempo, and contemporary urban music to start your day and get you energized. Between 10 to 12 noon daily, we serve it fresh. Now, take your lunch with us on Lunch Hour Show between 12 noon and 2 p.m. as we pack you with good mix of music loaded with interactive live chart, comedy, game shows, and current events. Our Word of Sports on Star FM comes on daily at the 5 o'clock hour, 6 o'clock hour, and 10 o'clock hour. Daily on Star. Our Evening Belt showcase a mix of urban music, oldies laced with big jokes, talent on shows, and relationships. You don't want to miss is the PM Crew. And round up your day with us on Body and Soul, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with the very best of rhythm and blues, cool music to take you to Wonderland. Join us daily as we give you the very best of music, news, sports, talk, and all-round entertainment. Star FM 101.5, entertaining you all the time. Star FM, your favorite radio station. Star FM on DSTV 869.